Alright guys, so we are going to look at the Shadespire expansion, the Ironskull boys. And here's the backside, and what you get is Upgrade Guard Underworlds with Ironskull's boys expansion, containing the Ironskull boys, warband and 60 unique cards to enhance your fighters. This pack provides new tactics and challenges for Warhammer Underworlds Shadespire. So it's 4 fighters, 4 fighter cards, 29 Ironskull boys and 31 universal upgrade, ploy and object cards. So here we have it. Let's just open up and see. So with the Ironskulls you can get the sleeves for the cards, 39 sleeves, and the deck that follows in the booster, but you also can get dices for them, for the Ironskulls. Iron Jaws. So I'm a little confused if they are Ironskull boys, they are called, as it says on the sleeves, or is it Iron Jaws, like it says on the dice pack. I don't know. Just saying Ironskulls on the booster pack for them and on the cards. So we're going for Ironskulls. So yeah, anyways, let's see what's inside these cards. So deck 1 of 2 we're going to open first. This is the first cards you get in the pack. Compare it to the dude, and so this is Hakka and so on. Okay, so anyways, you have the cards as they are presented. He suffers damage, you can flip it, and he will be rolling with 3 dice, doing 2 damage and having the cleave effect as well. On Basha is range 1, 2 dice, 1 damage, smash us, and critical hit. This attack action has knockback 1. Nice. If he has damage, turning around. So 3 dice, 2 damage, critical hit. This has knockback 1. So then we have Bone Cutter. He has actually 1 and 2 hammers and doing 2 damage if he goes in. If he has suffered 1 damage, turn around, and he will be getting 3 damage in return. Nice. And Gursag Ironskull, Boss Choppas, doing 3 damage with 2 dice, hammer tail. If he had damage, turn around, and the same stats here. But Boss Choppas, you can reroll 1 dice when this fighter makes his attack action. So that is super useful, really nice. So this is how the boys are back without any upgrades from the cards. But let's look at the cards now. Art as Iron. This is the glory thing. So, and I'm now going to just read them and go as fast as I can. So this score this and the 3rd end phase if no of your fighters are out of action. So then you get 3 glories. Biggest and the best. Score this at the end phase if your leader took an enemy fighter out of action in this preceding action phase. 1 glory. Call of the Wog! Score this immediately if there are 3 or more of your fighters made a charge action this phase. 1 glory. Score this immediately if a friendly fighter has 2 or more supporting fighters that their target when making an attack action. Dead Cannon. 1 glory. There's more of us. Score this in the end phase if you have more fighters on the battlefield than your opponent. any of your opponent if there are more players, 1 glory. Get the boss. Score this in the end phase if your warband took an enemy leader out of action in the preceding action phase, 1 glory. Cool. Good scrap. Score this in the end phase if 3 or more fighters are taken out of action in the preceding action phase. Multiplayer, 5 or more fighters. Glory, 2 glories. Punching up. Score this is the end phase if each of your surviving fighters, at least 2, made an attack action against different enemy fighters in the preceding action phase, 2 glory. Hitting some dwarves. Too dumb to die. Score this immediately if a friendly fighter suffers 3 or more damage in a single attack and is not taken out of action. Get 1 glory. Blooded. So now we are still, yeah, let's see. I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to have this aside, so more glory points. Blooded. So these are unique. The ones I'm reading right now was for just the orcs, and now comes more generic cards that any band can take. So Blooded. Score this in the end phase if your surviving fighters, at least 3, have at least 1 wound token, 1 glory. Brawl. Score this in the end phase if a friendly fighter, at least 3, are adjacent to enemy fighters, 2 glories. Contained. Score this in the third end phase if all surviving enemy fighters are in their territory. Multiplayer if a surviving fighters from 1 or more enemy warbands are in their territory, 3 glories. Divide and conquer. Score this in the end phase if each player has at least 1 fighter in their own territory and at least 1 fighter in the enemy territory, 1 glory. Endless slaughter. Score this in the third phase if 5 or more enemy fighters are out of action. 3 players, 7, 4, 9, 3 glory. Geared for war. Score this in the end phase of each of your surviving fighters, at least 3, has at least 1 upgrade, 1 glory. Ploy Master. Score this in the end phase if you ployed 3 or more ploys in the preceding action phase, 1 glory. Scent of Victory. Score this in the end phase if all surviving enemy fighters, at least 3, have the least 1 wound token. Superior Tactician. Score this in the third end phase if you have scored 6 or more other objective cards. Then you get 3 glories. So objective cards are these with the gold inside that give you glory. Yeah. Twilight Conquer. Score this in the end phase if all of your surviving fighters, at least 3, are neither in your territory nor enemy territory. So 1 glory there. And last one, Victorious Duel. Score this immediately if your leader takes all enemy leaders out of action, 2 glories. Right, so that is the objective cards for the first Ironskull Boys deck. And then you have, let's see, some cards here. These are all, as I can see, skim through them. Yeah, they're all upgrades and they are all unique for the Ironskulls. So, Ard Head. When this fighter suffers damage, reduce the all damage by 1 to minimum of 1, and it has to be on the Haka and Basha, one of them. Aspiring Boss. Reaction. During an attack and action by this fighter to target an enemy leader and fails, you can re-roll 1 attack dice. That's kind of good. And it's restricted to Haka. Crush and Cleave. This fighter attacks action gains Cleave, restricted to Gorsak and Bone Kura. Dead Ard. This fighter can only be driven back by a critical hit. Corsac and Bone Coda restricted. Brutal Frenzy. Roll an extra attack dice when this fighter makes a charge action. Haka and Basha. Head-along Rush. This fighter attack action gain knockback 1 in a phase in which they make a charge action. Restricted to Basha. And Unkillable. So this is a reaction. During an attack action or a ploy that takes this fighters out of action, roll a defense dice. If you roll shield or critical, they suffer no damage, are not taken off the action, and you discard this upgrade. Restricted to Gorshag. Whoa. And Elbat. Getting this. If this attack action succeeds, the target cannot be activated for the rest of the phase, and it's restricted to Gorshag. So it basically stomp in with their head. Cool. Okay. Like so. Green boys. You see it had the cards nice and tied inside. Like so. And a little instruction on how to build them, and this is what we are going to do right now. So they are snap fitted, so you just can take it up and start working on it. So the first, there are 2 sprues on it with numbers on the sides. Hopefully you can see it, and this is a number 6 because of the line underneath it. Okay, so we should have on number 1 we should have 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 9. 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 9. So let's see. Using the clippers, finding number 5 and 6. Here's number 6. Using the flat side into the guy and just clipping it away.
So that is number 6. And see. Try to get as close as I can to the actual knee without hurting the knee. 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. This is number 9. Here on the base.
And let's see. This is number 5 with the club. Yes. And here you can see the pegs. You don't want to cut them because they are going into the base. So you just want to be mindful of that when you're clipping away with your happy clippers, trying to assemble it, especially if you want to snap fit. So let's see, and I need 8 is the head, and let's see, that should be 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, and here is 4 pieces. So let's just make it neat where I have to be neat. I'm just trying to take away what the clippers didn't wanted to take away, and boy, look at the good details on these miniatures. You know, as you expect from Games Workshop, they are top notch when it comes to details on miniatures. So even these are snap fit minis. They are not like in the old times. So the instructions want me to put in the body first, so I'm just going to make it as neat as I can. Snap fit means pegs in holes. So let's do that. There we go. Just wiggle it and it will go in. So, and then we cut the club in. Let's club in time. Close shaving, because they don't want to be confused with dwarves. So putting on the shoes. The shoes are on the base. That's kind of funny. Like so. There's the first one. 3 more to go. Let's see. So number 2 are 1, 2, 3, 4. The remaining part of this, a long peg here. Just remember not to cut it, because it should be put in the base. Be neat with your clipping. And here is also a long stem. And the knife. Oh, they are looking so badass. Super cool, super cool. So the base are done. Just going to check out where I should cut a little. Here on the helmet. That is the first. First cut is the deepest. I don't know. And just put stuff together, make it click. Just a dream to put together, really. And let's put put him in the shoes. Let's see if are the angles wrong? What do I do wrong here? There we go. I think maybe. There we go. Number 2 is this fellow, and 10, 11, 12, 13. 12, 11, 12 is the head. 11 is the body. Mindful of the pegs. 12, big one. The base. Right, just getting Don't put it upside down, it won't fit. Let's see if I can get the feet in. No struggle there. What about the head? There you go. Damn, angry looking. Awesome. Alright, last one. Let's turn it. Basically, the rest of the sprue. Dumping. So I think that these orcs are all about clubbing with axe. I don't know. Just really nice, cool minis, and looking forward to looking at the cards to see what the orcs are bringing into the mix to the lore of Shadespire. So kind of really interesting, this deck building. Just cleaning up a little where I haven't been too neat when I was cutting it. Scraping a little mold lines. There are not much, but there are a little. And I'm going to try to see them. So let's see. Get there. Like so, and go in like so. And one more axe, because one isn't enough. Really awesome pose. Really cool, really cool. Like it a lot. Look at that. Really awesome. Okay. This is the build of the orcs, or the orcs, Ironskulls. Oh, all snap fitted together. But wait, there's more. There is one deck more. So I'm going to open this. Back in a few. Alright, so let's begin. So we are still on upgrades, and this is restricted for the orcs. So brutal swing, come on then. This is the attack. Targets all adjacent enemy fighters. Roll for each, and restricted to bone kata. So let's see. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so now we're going to ploys, and for all. Dual strike. One fighter support the first attack action in the next activation is considered to be two supporting fighters. Parry. The first time one of your fighters is target in the next activation, roll an extra defense dice when countering your success. Ignore one of the defense dices. Daylight robbery. Roll an attack dice. If you roll a hammer or a critical, take one of your opponent's unspent glory points. Nice. Distraction. Choose an enemy fighter and push them back 1 hex. Shifting shards. Move a unheld objective 1 hex. You cannot move it into a hex that already contains an objective. Duel of the Wits. Reaction. Play this when an opponent plays a ploy. Draw 2 power cards. Nice. Cruel Taunt. Choose an enemy fighter and roll an attack dice. On the roll of a hammer or critical, they no longer is inspired and cannot be inspired this game. Whoa. On your feet. Reaction. Play this during an attack action or a ploy that would take a friendly fighter out of action when there are friendly fighters adjacent to them. Roll a defense dice on a roll of shield or critical. The fighter does not suffer damage and it's not taken out of action. Anticipation. Play this card after all. Wait a minute. Play this card after all the final activation on the action phase. Name an objective card. If an opponent scores an objective in the end phase, score a glory point. Misdirection. Reaction. Play this when a friendly fighter is chosen by a ploy. Choose another friendly fighter that could be chosen by the ploy. The fighter is chosen instead. And then we are going to the Orc specific ploys. Having a good time. Choose a fighter and roll an attack dice. If you roll a hammer or a critical, they can make an attack action. Brutal but cunning. Reaction. Play this after a friendly fighter's attack action. You can push a fighter up to 3 hexes. Defending below. Choose an enemy fighter adjacent to one of your fighters. Push that fighter 1 hex. Gorka Morkar's Blessing. The first attack action with a range of 1 or 2 in the next activation has +1 damage. Cunning but brutal. Reaction. Play this after a friendly fighter move action. The fighter can make an attack action. You cannot play this during a charge action. Last Long. Reaction. Play this during an attack action or a ploy that will take a friendly fighter out of action. Before removing them from the battlefield, roll attack dice. On the roll of a hammer or crit, make an attack action with a fighter. It must target the attacker. Leading by example. Reaction. Play this after an attack action made your leader that takes an enemy fighter out of action. Enemy friendly fighters that have already made a move or charge action can make a charge action. More chopping. Roll an extra attack dice for the first attack action in the next activation. Pillage. Remove 1 objective that you hold from the battlefield. Scragim. Each friendly fighter that supports the first attack action of the next activation is considered to be 2 supporting fighters. An upgrade. Cursed Artifact. +1 defense, -1 wound. And it's for all. This is also upgrade for all. Legendary Swiftness. +1 move. The Shadow of the Key. If the fighter is holding objective 2 in the 3rd end phase, score 2 glory points. That's kind of neat. Catufrane's Belt. Catufrane Relic. If this fighter has 2 or more Catufrane relics, they gain the following cumulative abilities. +2 relics reaction. During an attack action, the target this fighter reroll defense dice. 3 relics. During this fighter's attack action, reroll the attack dice. 4 relics. After this fighter's action, draw 2 power cards. 6 relics. Gain 4 glory points. Nice. Okay. Shard Caller. At the beginning of each action phase, you can switch an objective held by this fighter with another objective. Whoa. Flickering Image. Reaction. After an attack action made by a fighter that scores a critical hit, you can push them 2 hexes. Shade Glasses Darts. 3 spaces, 3 dice, 1 damage. On critical hit, this attack is giving 1 more damage. Low Below. 1 square, 2 hammers, and 1 attack. Both sword and hammer symbols are successes for this attack action. Swift Strike. 1 hex, 3 swords, 1 damage reaction. Before making this attack action, push this fighter 1 hex. Oh, nice. That is good. Demonic Weapon. 1 hex, 2 hammers, 3 damage. Each time this fighter makes his attack action, they first suffers 1 damage. Whoop whoop. And Wog! It is specific for the orcs. This fighter's attack action with a range of 1 or 2 have +1 damage in a phase in which they have charge action. Yeah, so there we have it. All the cards, the minis, how you assemble them, and we have just one more thing to do. Basically, we have 2 things to do. I can open up for, like, here you can see how they look inside. So these are for the power cards, and this is for the other cards, and this is which is really nice. You can put you guys in clear sleeves, so they are protected. So basically you can build your deck with this, and sweet. I have played other games that are using sleeves, and this sleeves, this transparent sleeves, feels really good quality. Why I put them from the bottom up, I don't know. It's how I do it. It's just how I do it. And let's just have a quick feel on this one. They feel a little different, but I think they are of a good quality. We'll have to see, just playing with them, and see how they stand up to test of time. So just let's try Art as Iron. So gold on gold, and we can go inside like a glove. Kind of tight fit, but yeah, I like him. That's good. Going to protect your cards. You can play a lot of them. And now the piece of resistance, the Shadespire Ironskull dice pack. I don't know why they are having different names on it, but hey ho. Here we are going to come up with more Ironskull boosters, not this, just this warband like this. So it is for all the warbands that are using Aurochs. Really tight fit, but let's see. Sorry. Okay. I'm just going to take and just feel how they are a little heavier than this what's coming in the core set, which is good. A really good feel to them, and a good roll. We have a critical, so I'm happy. They are looking good, transparent and stuff like that. And yeah, what can I say, guys? This was Dice Ministry guy looking at some Ironskull's boys. Thank you for watching. Bye now.